What was your drug? I mean, you're going back and forth, but what was the main one? Heroin was your
and then I'd kind of like roll on the dope pipe a little bit to like wake me up because I had shit to do.
So heroin, I mean, is this the tweaking and you're picking and all this?
I feel like the meth makes me pick.
Okay.
The meth was like, meth's a dirty drug.
Yeah, and your pictures are really sad.
Yeah.
Because you're just sold out. Is it all over your body or mainly face?
Mainly my face. And part of that had stemmed from I had a tooth that was an abscess. And so how it started is I got an infection in a tooth. And the infection went into my face. And you're all strung out. And so that's how I got like the huge sores on the face. And I had gone into the ER. And looking back, I don't know how those doctors let me walk out of that ER and just let me leave. And prior to that happening, before I got all nasty, I had gone to the hospital and my lungs had shut down on me because I was smoking so much heroin. So before I really started into like the criminal activity, my heroin addiction was so bad and I was so strung out on it, and probably also built up from all the uses of the oxy on the foil. There's like a chemical that you're breathing in when you light the foil on fire. And my lungs were just coated in this crap. And in the x-rays, you would see all of these black nodules in my lungs. And the doctors were like, my oxygen levels were so low. My mom rushed me into the ER. And they put me on an oxygen machine and they have me in the hospital. And I am smoking heroin in the hospital.
You smoked heroin in the hospital? Who brought you the heroin?
Acquaintance, a friend, a person. A couple people did actually while I was in there. And then it got so bad, I got caught by security.
In the hospital?
Mm-hmm. Well, so I got caught by a nurse and she brought security up.
So you're pretty much dying from smoking meth and heroin. Mm-hmm. End up in the hospital and you're still doing it and get caught in there doing this.
Yeah.
And this isn't rock bottom for you?
No. And what's even crazier is when I went in, when my mom took me to the ER, I had my daughter with me. Like she had to watch me get like hooked up to all these machines and everything. And I had to like text her dad and ask him to come get her. And
how'd you get caught? The nurse walking on you?
Yeah, she walked in. I was like, it was nighttime. And so I thought I could sit there and like smoke. I thought,
is there like a horrible smell that comes off of this?
Yeah, there is.
And you weren't, I guess you're not giving a shit. You're in the hospital doing.
Yes, I don't fucking know. It was the dumbest thing.
I was kind of a stupid question.
You don't think I'm like, I don't give a
It's the last thing you're giving a shit about.
Also, like, I'm hooked up to oxygen. What if I would have like blown myself up?
Oh my God. I didn't even think of that.
Right? Lighting a fire right next to fucking oxygen connections, the hospital room. And the nurse comes in to like check on me.
I didn't even put those pieces together.
Fuck. And she's like, what are you doing? And I have like a whole baggie, and I have this like bag, like a makeup bag. It's got a scale, it's got dirty foils, it's got heroin. It's like a prison sentence just sitting there on my hospital bed. And so she calls security up. She's like, I gotta call security. And in my head, initially, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking run. But I was like, well, that's kind of dumb. And then my next instinct was to pray. And I call my mom, and my knees hit the floor of that hospital room. And I am just begging God with my mom on the phone. My mom is on the phone with me the whole way. She's rushing down to the hospital and just praying in tongues the whole time. And my knees are on the floor of that hospital room. And the security guy comes in, and he was a retired narcotics officer. And my mom shows up, and I just tell him, and he goes, I heard that you came in here with a little girl. He's like, is that your daughter? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, I'm just an addict, man. And I thought that was it. Like, that was like a moment of like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? Yeah. And he gave me a chance. And like, God answered that prayer. God answered that prayer. He's like, hey, Nikki, here's a chance. And they let me stay in the hospital. And I start detoxing so bad. The hospitals don't give you anything if you're in there and you're coming down. They don't give you anything.
You got to ride it out.
You got to ride it out. And
How long does that last?
It can last days.
Oh.
And so I will never forget, I'm on all fours screaming in bloody murder because I feel like someone is stabbing me with a knife in my back. I'm in so much pain coming down off this heroin. And I'm screaming and the nurses can't give you anything, right? And then it's like, what should they even give you? And it was so bad. They called my mom, and my mom comes back down there because I was signing myself against medical advice. I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I want to leave.
You had to get a fix.
Because I needed to go get a fix.
Do you feel you were so close? If you would have just given it a couple more days, maybe?
Yeah. And I probably would have been fine if I would have learned how to like control my emotions. And I would have learned to sit there with myself and control my mind and control my body.
That goes back to your childhood of who raised you.
And so I was just in this like overwhelming moment of trauma. And it probably exasperated the physical of the come down because my mind wasn't strong enough to overcome it.
Just from listening to the conversations of people that have battled addictions, it's always this mind versus body. They're
Absolutely.
never aligned, or they
Never.
blow by each other to where, okay, I'm going to make this change. And then all of a sudden the addiction, the mental part takes over. But when the mental part takes over, the withdrawals come in and their bodies start failing and they want to fix it. And it's just this constant battle to try to plane your body off. But that's what this is just my retarded Marine mind. But you're just, it's never, your body and mind are never connected. It's just one or the other trying to get the fix or relieve the pain.
And I would guarantee almost every addict has been through some kind of trauma or emotional damage or mental damage. And so you don't know how to control yourself because you've always, if you're an addict, you've always given in to your whims. You've always given yourself what it wanted, what your flesh wanted, right? You've always given it. And so you've never told yourself no. You have no control. And it doesn't matter. You're in a hospital on oxygen. You get caught smoking in the hospital. Your knees hit that floor and you beg God to answer your prayer and he answers your prayer and it's still, you can't tell yourself no because you don't have any control. You have not learned self-control. And so you say, fuck it, and you go do it again.
And that's what you did?
That's what I did. And I went right back to it. Immediately, I left that hospital and went straight to my connect's house.
On the way home?
I didn't even go home.